We have to talk about Biden commuting the death sentence of 37 people who were on death row, almost all of death row, aside from 3 prisoners who had committed mass killings. He left them, on the table or whatever. The death penalty is something that's always controversial, right? Pardons and commutes themselves are almost always controversial. So this, of course, has conservatives throwing a fit. It has liberals asking if it was the right thing to do. So I thought we could talk about it, as it came in the wake of Trump coming into office, and he promises to restart federal execution. Sinister. Something that also has been pretty much paused under Biden. I mean, it's been paused, but happening still on the state level, of course, in the states that allow it, which is sinister also. But first, I want to start by talking about the death penalty before we talk about, the sentences, particularly that are being commuted or that kind of thing, because I think the death penalty is what contextualizes the conversation in terms of where you're going to stand on, was this a good thing or not? For me, I think the death penalty is wrong, bar none. I don't care if you smoked weed. I don't care if you killed 4 people. If something is wrong, it's wrong. I don't think we should be playing God. I don't think the state especially should be taking lives. And I definitely don't think it's a deterrent of crime, right? And again, if something's wrong, it's wrong. Slavery is wrong. Nothing justifies slavery. Apartheid is wrong. Nothing justifies apartheid. Racism is wrong. Nothing justifies apartheid. It's pretty simple concept here. I think the goal of the prison system should always be rehabilitation. That should be the purpose of the state in a carceral setting, right? And where rehabilitation can't be achieved, then isolation probably. But what we see in our carceral system is punishment is the main focus, and it ends up typically being both inhumane and ineffective. So why would we continue to do it? And then we also see that a large portion of those executed are exonerated after their death. And I mean, one instance of this happening is too many, but like the fact that we're letting this happen over and over and over again without 100% certainty of guilt is wild to me. I don't remember the exact statistic offhand, but I know it's over 10%. I think it's like 16, 19 maybe % of people are exonerated after they're killed on death row. And one thing I've always appreciated Democrats for is championing being against this. At least on a federal level. I do think it's weird that they allow it to happen at the state level. They're not really trying to constantly push through legislation to block this like I would be. But for Republicans, it's for no reason other than the idea of enjoying harsh punishment. They champion this remaining legal because there's no data, no statistics, no study you can find that support this deterrent crime in any way, which is, again, where this outrage against Biden comes from, because Republicans want Donald Trump to come in and personally be able to take the lives of criminals, right? Even though the 37 men that Trump or Biden commuted here, they're still serving life in prison. No chance of parole, no chance of probation. So they're not getting off. It's just Biden saying like, hey, we're not going to let Donald Trump kill these people. But that's too much. There's an outrage here. Like, personally, I think Biden should have commuted all 40. I don't think you should have left the door open. I don't think you should say like, hey, this is right for some people. Again, if something is wrong, it's wrong. We're not going to say slavery is right for these 3 people, but these 37, of course, slavery is wrong. No, the death penalty is wrong. You should have commuted all 40. But the last point I want to touch on this is something I've always thought was odd about Republicans in terms of the state playing God and how Republicans should be against it, but they champion it. When you think they're the ones who are like, the state has too much power. The establishment shouldn't be this powerful. We need to take from the government and not let it having this all-reaching, unilateral control over us. But then they're also like, yeah, they should unilaterally be able to decide you deserve death, and then there's nothing you can do about it. And so what?